Yeah, what is going on, people? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news. My name is Jake. What's your name? That's cool. What is going on? As per usual, all of today's stories will be timestamped down below. There has been so much CSGO news. I got to apologize to all you dedicated CSGO viewers out there. I could have had a video every single day. We were just overwhelmed, so I'm going to break down all the stories for you guys right now, most of which has actually been NiKo. Yes, FaZe NiKo, reportedly trying to do this all by himself. I think many figures out there, many players out there as well, wanting a Krieg nerf, and I do believe it to be coming sometime soon. NiKo taking it on himself, though, to respond to every single CSGO update and post to remind them almost every time they do post as well, especially on Twitter, to nerf the Krieg. I have never seen this kind of persistence from any pro players out there, and certainly when a key figure like NiKo is calling for it, amongst many other pros over the past many months we've covered it, calling for additional nerfs of the Krieg itself for being just too powerful, right? I think a lot of us, even as viewers, can agree we're almost sick to this point of seeing this thing. NiKo taking it all upon himself to try and get it changed. Maybe after this outbreak, maybe once Valve employees are back in the office, as people do think, the update will finally be shipped out and the Krieg will finally be nerfed. I think it's a great time to do so. We don't have a major for a long time. The major announcement just yesterday we talked about, making the major not, of course, until later this year. Let's do it. We might not have competitions for quite some time besides our online leagues, which I'm sure we'll talk about a lot in the future. Let's see if NiKo can get the Krieg nerf. And speaking of other key figures out there, I would say key figures from years ago, that being Dosha, officially back. We talked about him during the first initial part of the outbreak. Him and Mo went to China to play for a team known as 1-3. They then left the team because of the COVID-19 or coronavirus outbreak. They are now back officially as the Mustang crew. This was actually rumored, I do believe, a while back. So now officially back with a great video, albeit though, I think a lot of us can agree these guys certainly not a killer squad out there, but I had to show it to all of you because can you imagine this guy being able to come back and make a major? I would love to see it. Do I think it's going to happen? Most likely not. Other takes on this, guys. I think I'll have a Flashpoint video for you sometime early next week. All of the troubles that Flashpoint has had, I will bash on any league out there equally. I hope you guys can agree with me on that. I've bashed on Blast Pro when they were doing things, kind of iffily. I've bashed on ESL for the bad things they've done, and I think a deserving solo video out there is all the poor things that a league like Flashpoint has done. Just an overwhelming amount of things that just make it it's sometimes, I still find it enjoyable, but sometimes hard to support, especially with some people, constantly talking it up and then doing some things that are a bit skeptical. We actually had S1mple even take to Twitter this past week, calling ESL #1. He does not understand why everyone's out there arguing when ESL just spaced sheerly off talent and teams is the better league, which, albeit right now, I do agree, and I wish the best of luck for all leagues going forward, but it's so weird to see this league, Flashpoint and ESL, just it's not even going back and forth. It's just Flashpoint and Thorn going at ESL and gunning them and then getting chewed out and clowned for it. Video coming next week. And I would say probably the biggest news out there, we touched on it very lightly yesterday. If you guys do not know, CSGO majors potentially changed forever, at least for ESL 1 Rio major. The minor system is now done. If you had previously qualified for the minor, you'd be invited to preliminary stages for our new major, which will all be based off regional major rankings, which is super cool. But it sucks for a few teams out there because if you're a top team who already had a major spot on lock, that spot is just gone. And so I'm going to talk, and you guys, of course, I would love some feedback down below. What teams got screwed over the most by this major update, which I do think going forward, if it is the future model, could be really cool to see the current best talent at every major is what we all want, and no lockdown, no guaranteed spots. It makes it a bit more shaky to actually own a CSGO team, but still, when it comes time for seeing the best talent, I like this format. I like this model. You look at teams like Contact, you look at teams like Virtus Pro, 100 Thieves who bought Renegades, all three of those rosters paying at least $1 million, if not more than that, much more than that for those rosters because they had major spots, and now those major spots, poof, they're gone. And especially when you find out a Vanguard, by the way, also on April Fools, but it's legitimate, they have left the esports and Counter-Strike business. After Virtus Pro paid huge money for that roster, a Vanguard's like, yo, we got out a great time, and they have cashed out and left the scene. I don't blame them whatsoever. Much like Crazy, right? When Crazy sold a portion of their players to G2, they of course have now come back to Counter-Strike, but I think they would have been a good time to actually leave, getting that good amount of money for those guys. We'll see what they do in the future. They've been expanding into other esports. A Vanguard the major run that we will probably remember for quite some time now from the CIS scene is now just poof, gone. Sold the roster and they are done, and I'm not going to blame them whatsoever with this shaky CSGO economy. We all know how expensive it can be just to maintain and run a team, and as of right now, there's no competitions besides online play. It sucks to see, but it makes a lot of sense, and a lot of teams out there being screwed over by these new major rule sets. It's going to be weird. We are entering a time where we see a lot of layoffs, a lot of salary cuts on the horizon for many esports organizations who are not technically in business, you know? We see online leagues, but we don't see LAN competitions, and a lot of these organizations have gigantic staffs and a lot of employees that really can't be working full-time. This is going to be a really weird, shaky time. We'll hope the bubble does not pop as well. Until next time, hope you all enjoyed. Have a great, safe weekend. Drink your water, drink your coffee. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subbing. Thank you for liking. We're slowly almost at 100,000 people. That's crazy. That's a big number. Until next time, bye-bye.